Thank you. I can't sing, so sorry about that. Director General of the Rwanda Basic Education Board, officials from the Ministry of Education, our principal from the University of Rwanda College of Education, all our friends who are here, new teachers, congratulations. So I'm going to use this moment to reflect on different things. But the description of the program has been shared by many colleagues. I'm not going to repeat that. But I would want to use this moment to do two things. As I said, I want to reflect on our journey. And second, I will take time to thank the different partners and ask a few things. So my friends here in the last panel have used their opportunity to lobby for some things. I'm also going to try and do that. In last October, when we met at the Rwanda Basic Education Board with all the students and all different partners, when we were launching this program, you could see that many people were afraid, as the principal said. We all had questions, we all had our doubts, but I am very sure that we all wanted to do something different. So if you look at the way our teaching profession is structured, and if you look at the curriculum that we have, we ask our teachers a lot. So we ask our primary school teachers to help build the foundations of our education system and the foundations of our society. So that's a lot to have on their shoulders. And if you look at how they are educated, if you look at how they are trained, I think we owe them a lot. And there is still a lot of work to do to ensure that we give them the right package for what we ask them to do. The competency-based curriculum that we have in our school requires that the student be at the center, as it has been rightly said by one of our mentors. And this is not something trivial, and this is not something that we will assume that anyone will immediately have. So it requires practice, it requires science, it requires patience, it requires mentorship. And this is what we sought to offer through this program. This is not anyone's idea, but this is something that came from us reflecting on what needs to be done to help our teachers deliver on what they need to deliver. So we had a few friends come together, we went on a drawing board, and we started to think, how can we help our primary school teachers to be better prepared after the TTCs? And you know, there is a lot of work that has been done in our TTCs. And if you remember, in 2019, the cabinet approved a series of papers that are meant to enhance our teaching profession. And this is when a decision was taken to make sure that the students that we select for the TTCs are among the best. Because the whole idea of selecting a teacher would be to say, okay, now we want to improve our teaching systems. So it only makes sense if it's done by the best we have in our system. So, and then we also took a decision to supplement the parents' contributions for everyone who goes into TTCs by giving them a 50% tuition waiver for everyone who goes into the TTCs. And we also say that anyone who has been teaching for at least 3 years can get a free scholarship and go and continue their studies at university. And when this decision was started being implemented, we now have more than 800 teachers who have graduated from the University of Rwanda College of Education. So, and we want to do this to make the teaching profession as attractive as possible. But we knew that there is still a lot of work to do. And this is why when we were sitting around that table, we reflected on all those initiatives, but you could see that there is something else to be done. There are policy options that we still have to think about. So, and this is what we said, okay, what do we ask our teachers to do nowadays? One, we ask them to teach in English. So English is now the language of instruction. So in the second, we want them to properly manage our classrooms using evidence-based pedagogy. And the third, we want them to use technology. Now technology is increasingly becoming available in our schools. And the fourth, we also wanted them to have enough time to practice. So and then we took those four things and we said, okay, can we do this in the 3 years they are at TTCs? Yes, I think we can. But can we try also something else and say, what if we give a little bit more time to these students and focus on these four things in a more elaborate way? What would happen? So, and as good teachers we were, we said, okay, let's try it. Let's try it and see what happens. And this is how this idea was born. We said, let's invite 100 of our students, of our graduates from the TTCs, and ask them to make this sacrifice with us. Let's have 100 students, graduates from TTCs, and ask them to be part of this experiment with us. We asked the partners, Bridge to Rwanda, Florida State University, IEE, the Rwanda Basic Education Board, and all others, and said, okay, can you be part of this experiment that we want to do, to make sure that we conduct this experiment and get to learn about some of the things that we could do to improve how our primary school teachers are educated and trained. So luckily enough, everyone said yes. So I want to thank the residency for saying yes to this experiment. I want to thank also all the partners for agreeing to do this with us. And then I want to thank the Rainwater Charitable Foundation for also believing in that experiment and providing financial means to be able to do that. I also want to thank my colleagues at the Ministry of Education who also accepted to do that experiment with us, together with the Rwanda Basic Education Board and the TTCs that accepted to be part of this experiment. So when we started this experiment, as I said, everyone looked unsure of what's going to happen. So because one, again, it's an experiment. Yeah, so it's an experiment, and we were not sure of what was going to happen. But we knew what we wanted. And this is why throughout the experiment, we kept asking questions, we kept testing, we kept monitoring. And what we have seen is that the results are there. So are they the optimum we could get? I don't think that's the case with anything else. So, but we have been seeing improvement. And we have been seeing what works and what can actually even work better. So this is why I want to invite everyone here to think about how you can again join us now that we have tested the waters. Now we want to invite as many of you as possible now to join us in what's next. We have seen what works, but how do we ensure that we continue to make it work even better? So we have seen what the partners can do, but what if we all could actually do what they did? We have been analyzing some of the good things, but also the gaps in our 3 years at TTCs. What if we can all sit together and make sure that these programs are improved to make sure that the residents have an even richer experience when they start these programs. So I think there is a lot of potential in these programs. There is a lot of potential in our teacher education systems. And we can do this, we can only do this if we are not afraid to try new things. There are a lot of discussions that always happen, and they actually sometimes tend to be philosophical on what do you try, what don't you try. But I think the mistake that we can make is to not do anything, is to be swallowed by challenges and back off and retreat in our corner and say, things will work out. Things will not work out. We need to make things work out. And we can only do that if we all put our minds together, if we all agree to come to the table and have that courage to do something different. We are not claiming that through this program we did everything that can be done. But I would want to thank the residents for trying to do something. Yeah? So, and everything has been said that, they are going to go in our schools, but that journey doesn't end here. So we want to continue to be with you. We want to continue to work with you to ensure that what you have learned is translating into classroom practices and later on translating into learning outcomes for our children. So that's what we are after. And we are going to continue to work with you and to support you and to use what you are going to learn from working with you to improve our systems downstream. And that's a promise to you, and it's also actually a homework to all of us to ensure that we continue to try new things, we continue to make sure that our teachers are better trained, are better educated, and are better supported. So another thing that I wanted to do again is to also use this opportunity to invite all the partners to join us in this transformation journey that we want to be on. If you look at how the teaching profession is evolving, especially on the continent, there are many issues that are being discussed. And there is a report that was put out recently on teacher shortage in Africa. Africa being the only region with a growing youth population, we are going to keep facing that pressure. So we will need more people to join the teaching profession. But the story does not have to be the story about numbers. It needs to be about numbers, of course, but it also needs to be about quality, it needs to be about passion, and it needs to be about how we all come together to change and support our teachers. There is also a lot of talk about technology and how technology can support our teachers. And you also need to make sure that we are embracing that. So these are all the conversations that we need to take. And we need to do it now. So this residency program that we are celebrating today is one of the things that we can try. And there are also investments that have been made into the teacher training colleges, and I want to thank the World Bank and the Ministry of Education and the government of Rwanda for supporting the TTCs and to make sure that they have the right type of infrastructure and to make sure that they have the right programs. So, but it does not have to end there. So I want to invite all the partners who are here to help us and to join us in making sure that all these issues that are evolving, whether it's in our system, but also on the African continent, are taken into account. And we bring them to the table, we discuss and see what is it that we can do to make sure that our teachers are properly trained, to make sure that our teachers are properly educated and properly supported. So in the next few days, we are going to be coming to all of you to show you the plans that we have to make sure that our teachers are properly educated and trained. Another thing that I want to also reflect on, it's something that I always like to do, is to think about where we are going and the role of our teachers in making sure that we get there. You know that in Rwanda we have our Vision 2050, and it's a very bold vision to become a knowledge-based economy and to become a high-income country by 2050. We cannot get there if, and I think the only thing that's going to get us there is education. So, and as I like to tell to my friends, for us in education, 2050 is actually today. And even maybe yesterday, right? So which means that we need to make sure that we do not think 2 years ahead or 3 years ahead, but now is 20 years ahead. So we need to make sure that we look at what we will need, to look at what our KPIs will be in 2050, and then start looking at how the foundations can be strengthened today. And again, it has been said that we cannot be better than our teachers. So meaning everything that we have, we need to invest in our teachers. So it's not adding too much pressure on the pressure you already have. So, but our dear teachers, you are going to start teaching in our classrooms. And I want you to always be reflecting on that. So you, literally, you have the future of our country on your shoulders. You are not alone. We are going to keep supporting you, but I want you to be reflecting on that. And everything that you do needs to reflect that ambition, the ambition our country has to become a knowledge-based economy, and it all starts with you. It all starts with primary school students. We have been working with different partners to build a strategy for foundational learning. And at the core of that is our ambition to try and make sure that every child performs at grade level, especially in numeracy and literacy. So you, again, are going to be the main force that's going to be implementing the strategy. So we think that throughout this program, there are gains that have been made. But for us to be able to properly implement that program, to make sure that we are giving our students everything that we can give them, we also have to make a personal commitment to improvement. So there is where you have been at the beginning of this program. There is where you are now. But there is also where you want to be as a person, as a teacher, as a profession. So every day, please make that commitment to improve. So I think as teachers, we all want to improve every day. So we want to make sure that every day we keep improving for the benefit of our children. So I want you guys to also make that personal commitment from today to keep improving, to build on what you have been receiving through this program, and keep improving. So, and there are also many things that we want to do, whether it's building on this program. We have been making sure that we are compiling all the learnings, and we have a bigger forum all with all the different partners to make sure that we are sharing what we have learned. But we also want this program to inform our next policy actions, to inform our next technical reforms that we need to, what we need to make. But this is the beginning. So the work ahead, we have no illusions. The work ahead is very challenging, and you have seen throughout this program or throughout the sessions that we did today, there is still room for improvement. But what I'm sure of is that when we all come together, when we all put our energy together, we can make significant improvement, provided that we have willing beneficiaries, which I believe we have in our residents and in our little brothers and sisters who are in TTCs and at the UR College of Education. So I am very happy that we have been able to do what we have been able to do with the residency program. And I want to thank everyone, once again, everyone who was involved, the partners, Rainwater Charitable Foundation, the Ministry of Education, colleagues who have worked really hard on this, the partners who have joined us, and the partners who are going to join us in the future to make sure that this program continues to be the best program we can have. So I will end on, again, thanking the residents for all your dedication. So when I came to visit you, you could see the energy in the room. We want you to take the same energy in our classrooms, right? So we want your classrooms to be very different. And I think you know why we are asking you to do that. And anything that you would need, we are ready to support you. So now you know who to reach out to. We all have been friends throughout this program. So for anything that you need, please do not hesitate. We are going to be here to support you, whether it's for on your own improvement or your own education, but also make sure that we are supporting you in your profession. So once again, thank you very much. Thank you everyone for inviting us, and thank you everyone for coming. And I want once again to invite you to be supporting all these brave young men and women who have accepted to do this experiment with us and who have accepted to continue with the teaching profession. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for the remarks. Now, ladies and gentlemen, at this moment, would